Evening YouTube, hope everyone's good. Now, Triller was live last night. I was sent a clip where Bisaw was parading a picture of my lad on there, making out he was all sorts of far right, racist, Nazi, blah blah blah. You know, just trying to paint a target on somebody's back. Now, like I've said, anyone can say whatever they want about me or whatever. It's not a problem. I put myself onto this platform, if you like, whatever. With that, you're gonna get a bit of shit back and forth, and I'm not condoning anyone doxing anybody. Let me make that fucking clear. Now, I'm not in the business of doxing anybody. For me, when you do that, you just show that you can't win with a simple argument. You have to run doing dumb shit. Now, like I say, my lad, do you know what I mean? He's not on here. So, why are they running about with pictures of my lad? Then you can go back to the previous live that Triller did, where it seemed okay and normalised for Bisaw and Bleeding sat on the panel chucking names around of who they perceived to be my wife. Do you know what I mean? Now, there's only so many occasions of this that anyone would have or whatever before you do something about it realistically. Yeah. Now we've seen the how the game goes at the moment all over social media. We keep calling somebody a Nazi. We've just seen it with young Bob, young autistic lad, beat up, and people are glorifying it. Do you know what I mean? Does this make these people clever, brave, or sad little cowards? Do you know what I mean? What the fuck are we doing here, realistically? Bob can have his beliefs, and whether you don't like them or not, it's neither here nor there. It is freedom of speech in this country. People have always got the option of walking on by, haven't they? You don't have to stand there, you don't have to listen, you don't have to argue, you certainly don't have to attack. Now, when these scumbags, and they are well-known scumbags for literally doing, that's all they do, run around doxing people, trying to endanger people's family members, etc. Now, that was the reason, because I double-checked with Ghost, what was the reason that you got rid of Bisaw and Bleeding? And it confirmed the running around, doxing people's families, putting people's family members' pictures up, etc, etc. So he got rid of him. Now, if you remember, Ghost must have asked about 50 million times for him to stop doing that shit. So eventually Ghost realised, okay, these people clearly don't respect my panel or channel, and he fucked them off. Now, why they're back, you would have to ask Ghost. I was told when I asked Ghost, which is not believable to be honest, because like I say, these people don't respect anybody, that there is rules and stipulations and blah blah blah, and that's the only reason they're back on. Now, I guarantee you it will end up in the same situation as it is on Triller's. I mean, obviously with Triller they've just literally said, yeah, we don't respect Triller, but we know we can walk all over him, especially when he's desperate for a panel member or whatever. which seems to be the case sometimes. Not all times, there has been some decent people jump on, to be fair. But Bleeding Heart and Bysaw, they've not got a conversation in them. So you've not got them on there for the conversation, have you, realistically? It's quite obvious why people bring these people in. Like Jupiter, literally, openly. Oh, everyone needs an ESO. They'll go to lengths and steps that other people won't do. Do you know what I mean? And this one's a patriot, apparently. Fucking hell. Yeah. Mad. Now this one's actually admitted enrolling these people from the far left attached to Antifa and stand up to racism and the IRA and all sorts of fucked up shit to attack people. Now who are the people that they've attacked up to now? Are they attacking people on the left? Can we name one of them? No. Are we sure of people that they've attacked on the right? No, definitely not. Wasn't long ago they was chasing Taffy's partner around the internet, sending them videos and clips and links of all these reasons why Taffy shouldn't see his children. And then we can rewind a little further to where they was giving Vela the same treatment, doxing him, doxing his missus, even bringing the children into it. Also digging into Luke and his family and all this kind of shit. Now, I think there's just countless examples of these two scumbags doing what they do. So that's why they are. It's one of them, innit? You know them for all the wrong reasons. It's never been for something controversial you've said, or standpoint on something, or supporting something good or whatever. It's just always on the shit end of the stick, innit? Doxing some cunt's family. Do you know what I mean? Losing some cunt the job. Now, my son's already been chucked into all this fucking years ago, and not only am I aware, but it's well documented where the source of it came from, and that person broke data protection. Now he's in a whole fucking heap of shit, and he knows it, and so are the third party trolls that have been handed that information. One of them, innit? Do you know what I mean? Have a look at the sentence guidance lines for mishandling and abusing data protection. Yeah. 2-year sentence on the end of that, whenever I feel like saying go. And every little line from that with the same information and whatnot just amplifies the situation and broadens the investigation type thing into that as soon as I say go. Now, for quite a long time I've just been collating and collecting evidence showing how far this goes, how this network actually works, and the lines that these people are willing to cross. Now, like I've said to everyone, I said it to Ghost, I said it to Trillo, I said it to Bleeding. We can't get to Bysaw, and Bysaw will, I'll say at least 60% do the worst shit out of the two of them scumbags. Bleeding Heart, it's one of them. I told her the other day, carry on chatting shit with names of people who've got fuck all to do with this thing, who she believes to be my wife, and I'll just ring your sister and let her know exactly what's going on. It's one of them, innit? sometimes these things can be dealt with offline, internally. It's one of the, you know what I mean, most people, their families and whatever, they ain't got a clue what people are doing online. If they did, they wouldn't be doing the shit that they're doing. And sometimes that's enough to knock that on the head. Now, I could be a wanker, I could read out all of her family members and all this shit. I could put pictures up just the same as them. I could even go deeper and do an ESA and go, oh look, this is a business. Let's highlight the business, let's put the phone number up, the name of the company up, and fucking destroy it. Show the links from that to that, and this is what family fucking name business. This is what these people do. Target people's families, go for people's jobs, blah blah blah. You could turn that business upside down in no time. I could chuck it in a fucking roast group. Now, I've never gone down these lines, do you know what I mean? But Bleeding Heart is fully aware that Kaylee's already rang her. If I ask Kaylee anything, do you know what I mean? I'm sure she could re-air the phone call or whatever. Now, Bleeding drinks that much, maybe she's forgot. I could just as easily have rang her, like I said to Bleeding the other night, I could quite easily ring your sister right now while we're all live on Trilla's panel and she can hear you for herself. Would you like me to do that? Now, she said no, and she sounded a little shook. And like I said to her, do you know what I mean? I can't get to ESO, but I can get to you. And the book would have to stop with you, considering you come as a pair. When you come as a pair and you're doing the most fucked up shit to other people's family members, why should anyone go, oh well, you know, we won't do an eye for an eye? I could do very easily. If you look on the last, I think it was the last video I did, somebody's put a comment highlighting a hell of a lot of details on Bleeding's family, and you can also have a look at the comment. I'm not about that. I'm not about all this doxing bullshit. That's for shitbags and cowards and lefty fucking scum. I'm not about that in any way, shape or form. Me personally, I'd rather lose the argument than go down that line. Do you know what I mean? Once you've done it, you're forever known as a scumbag. Now, like I say, my lad's already had all this treatment a long time ago, so rehashing it now doesn't do fuck all, realistically. I know these people seem to think, oh look, you know, it's gonna proper piss him off, rah rah rah. Yeah, it will to a degree, but it's not the end of the world when it's already been done, like 10 years ago. The pictures they're running around with are over 10 years old. So when Trilla's saying, oh well, he's 30, does he look 30 in the fucking picture? No, he weren't even 20 in that picture. That Facebook has been fucking abandoned years ago or whatever, and I think the thing's been lost for it, so you can't delete it or whatever. At one point in time, it was all over like an actual platform, no, like one that people did actually fucking watch or whatever, and it was to his own detriment, realistically. People seeing what was going on, Glenn Zaffer seeing what was going on, and the whole shit got exposed. They was putting pictures, the Facebook account, there was phone numbers, workplace, favourite films, favourite hobby, you name it, is all on there or whatever, of my son. And that was due to me shutting down the King's Flag scam, which was being platformed and protected on Wake Up UK, formerly known as Right Unity. Now, like I say, there's a hell of a lot that half these Johnny come latelys are not even aware of. A lot of them are running around with pure bullshit, pure nonsense. If you notice the names, they'll keep changing. I must have had at least 4 names by now. Now, I did offer Wake Up UK with Glenn Zaffer as a referee, not in person, just on a camera, 1-to-1, with Glenn as a fucking referee. I was quite happy to put all my details up, just so we can see who we're dealing with on the other end of it. Anyone can make up a Facebook profile, this, that and the other. Do you know what I mean? If you remember, well, a lot of people won't remember, when I exposed the King's flag shit and all that and whatever, and they thought it was dead, then a good idea to dox my family, putting a partial postcode out which just led directly to, simple as that. So I had to move my family, I had to put certain things in place, 2 totally separate situations altogether, which has cost me a fucking fortune, do you know what I mean? To protect my family, because I know the dirty tricks that go on. Do you know what I mean? These people would rejoice in the fact if they could like fuck your shit up and, you know, stop your kids seeing you or whatever. Like you've seen them trying with Taffy and his family and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? These people would literally be buzzing off that for the next 12 months, because that's how sad they actually are. Now, like I say, I've put fucking measures in place before all these little shit dead communities was even around. So yeah, that was the other thing. Because Bysore was making out it was far right, Nazi, white power, blah blah blah. All these things have been doctored from day one. All of it's bullshit. All of it is absolute bullshit. And there's hundreds of patriots that actually know myself, have met myself. I've been at their gaffs, they've been at my gaff, I've met their family, they've met my family. So when these dickheads run about with all this whatever, considering I've got a multicultural family, it's like, it just doesn't wash. The police are very aware. How many fucking sad cunts do you think have actually reported me, realistically? Not short of reports at all. And I've done all the hard work with the police, do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you literally being used as a tool to keep bothering me. And because I've walked them through all the lawful rebellion side of things and whatnot, unless I'm committing loss, harm or injury, it's not even anything to do with the police. So it's one of them when the police, and they know this now because I've walked them through it and what will happen if they do it again, turning up at my door with just bullshit accusations and nonsense and no evidence and whatever. They know now that, like, if they're gonna bother me, they've got to have their shit in order, otherwise it will be them that will be in court, not me. Now, some people may remember I was quite happy to fund Kayla taking these wankers to task or whatever. I was quite happy to pay all the legal costs for that on one stipulation: don't speak to him for the next, I think it was like 8 weeks, from towards Christmas to into the new year. And I said, come the new year, I'll get a solicitor to contact you, go through all the rigmarole, and he'll take him to task, and you will financially gain from it. I kept trying to warn Eric, dropping subtle hints: you're going to need a digger to get you out of this, and later down the line you're going to need a 360 excavator to fucking to deal with all the holes that you're digging. He must have thought, like, a bit close to the bone, but I'll be very careful what I say, and then eventually someone's put all the details out of Hope Not Hate Eric, oh, now we know what your name is, now we know what you fucking look like, now we know what company name that you fucking operate under. And quite a big business, to be fair. Same with Wake Up UK, he's doing a lot of fucking grifting in the background. These people have got decent amount of money around them to be doing all the mad shit that they're doing. It's a bit of a silly move, but you're dealing with silly people, do you know what I mean? Kaylee could have fleeced them both. Now realistically there's no difference what they've done to Kayla as they've done to me. It's just been a little bit more successful with Kayla than it has been me, because like I say, I put loads of measures in place before I even was on this fucking whole internet thing or whatever. Now some people are more naive to the situation, I guess. This is why I try and warn people how it can go, do you know what I mean? Don't let people know this, that and the other, even when you think they're your mates and this, that and the other. Just keep them at arm's length. Now, like I say, there's fucking shitloads of people in the actual movement, not online. I mean, some of them will be, obviously, but they actually know who I am. They know exactly who I am. They know exactly where I live. And they know what I'm about and what I'm not about. So when people are running around with mad shit, it don't wash anyway. Do you know what I mean? Who are people impressing on PooTube, realistically? Loads of people that don't know each other, never met each other, never gonna meet each other. So who are you actually impressing? I don't get it. The amount of times I've shown people what goes on YouTube that are in the movement, that's what they'll say. Do you know what I mean? That's why we stay off there. It's just full of nerds, wet wipes, police informers, and yeah, they've seen all this doxing shit that goes on. Now, I've met many good people in this movement, and any advice that people said before I jumped on there was bang on. Turns out to be exactly spot on. Now, I will give Triller some credit where due. He did actually take it off. He did actually get Bysaw to remove it, and after I jumped on, he put Bysaw in the back and then didn't let him back on. He said that he basically said that he's fucking not respecting him. He's asked him several times not to. He keeps doing the same shit. Do you know what I mean? And even Taffy said, even though he was like trying to stir shit up, oh, he's scared of Den, he's scared of Den. Do you know what I mean? Just trying to stir the situation up. Don't come down to who's scared of who. It comes down to who's got morals and who's not. Now, like I say, that was why he was removed from Ghost. Triller obviously thought that they would have more respect for him. Well, that didn't work out well, did it? Now, as it stands, I've now got 3 sets of evidence from when it was allowed to happen on Ghost. I've got 3 sets of evidence when it's happened on Triller's. But then when I've tuned in, he's going on about he should be reporting me. I might be a danger because all this it's one of them, innit? Taking Bysaw's word as gospel, all the fucking white power, 6'4" of white power, his son, blah blah blah, trying to paint him as a Nazi. And because Triller's like absorbing it, because he was probably fucking pissed again or something, he's flapping then, thinking, oh, well, maybe I do need to actually report stuff or whatever. It could be a danger. Now, I'm not being funny, but it's not me sat there chucking people's family fucking names and pictures around the internet, isn't it? That's dangerous, isn't it? Realistically. It's one of them. Look how easy Bob got attacked. They made out he's a fucking Nazi and all this shit. And he's been attacked several times since. Again, a young autistic boy, a kid with fucking disabilities. These people think that shit is funny. Do you know what I mean? Now, some people on the right, people like Jupiter, people like Danny Roscoe, think it's fine to do the eye for an eye. That's where myself and Danny Roscoe parted ways, because he was saying, oh well, if they're doxing, we should be doxing and blah blah blah. And like I told him then, do you know what I mean? When you lower yourself to their level, all the people that hated them for the scummy shit that they did, and they do, they're now going to put you in that same bracket, and they're going to dislike you for doing the same shit, regardless of whether they did it first or any other shit. That is how people work. 99% of people, genuine people, would be fucking disgusted that anyone would go to them lengths. There's only a tiny amount of people which are okay with this shit. Now, what I said to Danny back then, I've not changed my opinion in any way, shape or form. There's loads of people I could dox. Look at that, when I got doxed, got my family doxed or whatever the partial postcode. Danny Jones of Victoria West, straight away digging into his family, this, that and the other, got me on a private live. Like I say, I record everything, especially because I knew he was a dodgy cunt to begin with. I recorded every single thing, and then they both denied it, but they was going through showing, oh look, you know, this is pictures of his children, this is where he's having something to eat in a pub with him, and this, that and the other, going for all this fucking shit. And I was just sat back thinking, what the fuck? Recorded it. I said, I don't do all this doxing shit, do you know what I mean? It's one of them. If I wanted to do something, I could have just sat back and had shit done anyway. Less than 24 hours after my children's postcode was put out, one of my loyal subscribers that I actually know from the movement, which I don't think he lives down there, but I don't know, for some reason he was down that way anyway, is gone and knocked on his fucking door. He sent me a picture of the gaff. I was like, what's that about? And he went, it's that fucking cunt's house who's just doxed your kid's address and whatever. I went, wow, what the fuck's going on? Don't do anything on my behalf. I'll sort this shit out myself. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to figure out how they've got the information to begin with. So yeah, I had to play the long game. I said appreciated, massive respect or whatever, but nah, for my benefit, just come away or whatever. Let me deal with it. I could have just sat back. Jupiter would have just sat back and gone, oh yeah, we'll go live. Can you record it so I can play it online? This is the type of scumbags you're dealing with. Now, I didn't know who was in that house. You could have a missus there, you could have children there. I don't want no one bringing no shit to no cunt's door. There's always another way. Do you know what I mean? Now, eventually I managed to get the information of how exactly that they've obtained that address, because I just thought it was someone had been hacked or whatever, but I found exactly how these people operate, and it was by breaking data protection. So when I bought some t-shirts, he's the one handling the data. This is why I had a massive issue with the same scumbag running one of Tommy's sites and running the data collection side of things for Anne-Marie Waters' Party for Britain. You don't let these people anywhere near people's data when you've seen firsthand how fucking reckless they are with that data. Now, like I say, 2-year sentence involved whenever I say go. So for all these idiots that keep trying to like implicate yourselves to that fucking wider problem, keep doing what you want to do. For the people that would wish to probably stay off the radar of that situation, maybe knock it on the head. Now, I don't know what Triller's going to do. I'm not even too sure what I'm going to do yet, to be honest. I know I'm not happy with it unfolding. Like I say, I will give Triller the benefit of that, or whatever credit for that. He did actually get him to remove it and then kept him off the panel, so I have to give it where it's due. And like I said to Triller on our previous conversation, it come down to you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone, we just ignore each other and do our own thing. So when I was sent the clip, I was like, is he actually taking the piss? And then when I spoke to Triller, he did seem to realise the position, the situation and the seriousness of it, and what the implications may be to that. Like I said, do you know what I mean? I'm not sure what I'm doing about it at this moment in time. Maybe it'll fix itself. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'll have to take things to another level. I try not to deal with the police. I've made it clear to the police why I don't intend to have any back and forth with them unless there's something to answer to, something genuine to answer to. Now, when you've had so much back and forth, and they end up in a position where if you bother me again, it's going to end up you being in court for harassment, and I'll take you personally, the copper, to fucking court and whatever. The police, the association, blah blah blah, they won't be able to help you. Once they're fully aware of that, they're a lot more thoughtful as to when they do bother you over such bullshit fucking, do you know what I mean? Oh, such a body said this or that. Like Taff said the other night, most people are like open to that. Oh, Taff says Triller stole his carrot, so until Triller can prove otherwise or whatever, yeah, they're going to come knock at your door. And that is the case for most people. I came away from all that a long time ago. Because I know about the law, I know how it works, simple as that, you know what I mean? Triller keeps saying, oh, are you a solicitor? No, I don't need to be a solicitor. I know more about law than the police do, just like the fucking auditors do. Not being funny, but I've been in a constitutional fucking law group for well over 15 years, towards 20 years. Of course I know about law. Not being funny, but when you've been through all the system and do you know what I mean, been on involved with all sorts of mad shit and whatever, yeah, you tend to learn a hell of a lot about the law. You learn a lot about the law when you're in prison and you've got time to just sit there reading books about things and shit. And the police know this, do you know what I mean? I've always literally spelt out my intentions, and my intentions are good, you know what I mean? It's not about racism, it's not about far right, it's not about whatever, it's about what's right for the country. I don't break any laws. I may push the fucking boundary, but I never break it. And that's why I record and document everything. Some people will take the piss and go, oh, he records everything. Yeah, of course I do. Why would I not? It saved my ass so many times. Why would I fucking not do? Why would I just go, oh, I won't record this? You know, I know full well that they're most likely going to fucking delete it and clip the bit they want. Clips don't work for evidence. It's enough to get a knock on the door for most people, but it'll never go nowhere. And like I said to Triller the other night, if it goes to the point where I have to actually contact police about this shit, because it does seem to be coming from certain communities now. Everyone else, it's one of them, innit? Once you find out their details, oh yeah, they go quiet real quick. They all seem to have like found something else to do. Not even seeing these cunts online. You rarely do. And if they do, they're hiding in the shadows. They're not fucking giving it the big one like they was doing. It's one of them, innit? How brave do you want to be when you know, realistically, oh shit, I've done all this shit to X, Y and Z, and now they all know where I live, where I work, what my company is, what my wife looks like, what my kids look like. Now I've never put none of that out. Other people have. It's one of them, innit? When you piss a lot of people off, some people are going to go, oh okay, eye for an eye time. No, I'd never do that. When you hear me refer to Eric, it will be Hope Not Hate Eric. I obviously know his name's not Eric. I could read his full name out, his address, his postcode. I don't need to, do I? I'll refer to him as what they are on YouTube. Simple as that. Same with Triller. Do you know what I mean? I could just say his name or whatever. Could have said it when I'm on his fucking live stream, just to throw him, just to throw in problems or whatever. Don't need to do that. Triller seems to think that police would struggle to find him. It's like, not really, no. Your name's been chucked around anyway in the past, well before anything to do with me. Do you know what I mean? There's people that actually like know the situation a hell of a lot better. Don't help that you've pictures out there and you've put your face out there many times. Don't help that you've told us when you got arrested for carrying a knife. Do you know what I mean? All these tons and tons and tons of details that Trillers give out. Now, for me, if Triller does the right thing and keeps it clean on there, I don't give a fuck if they go on there. Not my business, is it? But when they're doing dumb shit like that, yeah, the book will stop at Triller. Do you know what I mean? Now, I generally will try and give people opportunities and chances to do the right thing. So I'm probably just going to monitor things for now. Everything's recorded, documented. And like I say, it's just become part of a much bigger web. From all that time ago to where we are now. The original data breach, obviously that's where the main focus would be, from an investigation type of thing or whatever, and there's no getting away from it. There's no hiding this, hiding that. Everything's there. Whenever I say, yeah, now, let's go now, I can bring all this shit. I can bring all this shit down. Now, you've heard Triller say a million times, oh, you've loads of threats, blah blah blah, like I've been threatening him or whatever. Now I've said to him, I'll quite happily give you an apology if you can find these threats from the conversations we've had, put them on a short video or something, tag me to it. I'll do a formal apology if I've made any threats. The thing is, I know that I haven't. I'm very careful with my words. I'm very aware that people play the victim and then play Supergrass. It's like you can't be the person that's running about doing the most and then be the victim. That just doesn't work. With full context, I can show these are the conversations we had from A, B, C all the way through, and this is the end result. I've not made any threats. These have run about with threats. These have been running about with families, names, pictures, blah blah blah, of all sorts of people. This is what they're about. They can't possibly play the victim. But the end result of that would be, and I've said that to Triller, if you seriously think in your own head after you've checked through your own evidence of conversations we've had. If you think I'm a threat to yourself or your community or anyone for that matter, go and ring the police, go and make an official report, and we'll go from there. The end result is Triller will know my actual name, and obviously I'll know Triller's actual name and details and all this good stuff. Now, like I say, it's not a line I would ever explore realistically, but when you start going into family members and trying to regurgitate old shit, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do something about it, aren't I? It's one of them, innit? He's already lost his job. Now they're trying to paint a target on him as far right, and that's this, that and the other. Yeah. You've had Mad Wendy running about with old videos with fucking all sorts on there, offering rewards for information of this, car registrations, blah blah blah, addresses, any information, cash reward and all this shit. Again, Eric's Hope Not Hate videos. Do you know what I mean? Trying to endanger people, obviously, openly. Bit silly when you've got a massive company, innit? Now, like I've said, and people have said, oh, he's only after money. Any money I take from these cunts, I've told people already, I'll quite happily donate to Autism Speaks. And I reckon I could fleece the fuck out of these cunts. My mate is a very good solicitor. I think he's a barrister as well now. Do you know what I mean? He's very good, very good. And yeah, at any point in time I can just go, right, okay, I think I've gathered enough evidence now for this, that and the other. There was enough evidence years ago. It just keeps showing a wider and wider network, doesn't it? Where you've got people on that claim to be on the right that are actually involved with all these fucking lunatics on the far left, and they work together like some creepy little network, but then they say, oh, we're not infiltrators. No, of course you're not, no. Protecting people like Graham Cradder, who has openly come from Hope Not Hate, and then they'll try and make out that I'm the liar. Oh, no he's not, blah blah blah, and then you put the evidence out, and then they all go quiet. Don't look good, does it? Now, if you remember, I think Wendy was supposed to be writing a book a long time ago, or whatever. I've got so much shit there to fucking put out at some point in time, and it'll probably help people, to be fair, because there's only so much you can do on a video or whatever to show, like scale, timeline, blah blah blah, syndicate of shit cunts and the dirty tactics that they use. Now, I may well at some point do something like that, because I think it would help a lot of people. And again, not interested in money. I'll quite happily donate any proceeds of anything to Autism Speaks. Now, anyone that thinks you can hide, oh, I've got a VPN and all this madness, if the police want to find you, they'll find you. I'll tell you that. If the police want to find you, they'll find you. Yeah, it's a bit silly. I mean, even that, you know what I mean? It's like there's facial recognition and everything, and you've been arrested. It's like, for someone that sometimes comes across intelligent, they can't have come out with some dumb shit once they're a little stressed. But yeah, I'm hoping the problem just goes away. That doesn't mean for cunts like Taffet, oh, Triller's scared. It's not about being scared, it's about being realistic. do you need these problems? Because it's one of them, and you can always go multitask with any situation. You can go, yeah, okay, I'll use the police to get hold of you. Might never take it anywhere or whatever, or I might do, and then obviously later down the line things can happen, can't they? You can end up in a situation where you think, why not? I don't know. But yeah, I hope the situation sorts itself out. Time will tell, I guess. Now, like I say, I've made my intentions very clear from day one. I've made it clear on YouTube. I've made it clear to the authorities, right through every fucking arm of the law that there is. They've tried, including prevent, and they do nothing. They do nothing. They do nothing because there's nothing that they can do. Until you actually do break a law, there's not a lot they can do. Yeah. If anything, I'd say they've learnt things from me, to be honest. And if people listened a little bit more to certain things, they'd be able to protect themselves a little bit better than just have this mad shit able to be a tool that they can use. The police don't like being used as a tool, especially by troll cunts. Do you know what I mean? Right, I think I'm going to leave it there. Hope everyone's good, hope everyone's well, hope everyone's enjoying the beautiful weather. Yeah, found a nice spot anyway. Nice shaded spot when it's too hot. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there, people. Enjoy, look after each other, stay safe, stay vigilant.